Milik is not a very usual last name. I haven't met a lot of people with my last name who I'm not directly related to. And having an unusual last name is often very convenient. But it's actually become a little bit better known recently because my second cousin Arkadiusz plays soccer professionally, and he's on the Polish national team, and in fact was in last summer's World Cup and 2 years ago at the European Cup. So people in Poland really recognize the last name now, although since soccer isn't as big here, very few people know the names of any Polish strikers, so it hasn't really affected me directly. But since my parents moved back to Poland about 8 years ago, they've really seen the difference. And my mom was talking to me a couple months ago because she was a little bit annoyed with my dad because they were driving and got pulled over. And when the police officer saw the name on the license, he kind of did a double take and looked at them and said, "Are you related to..." And my dad cut him off at that point and said, "Yeah, but we don't do autographs." And my mom thought that if he wasn't so gruff about it, that maybe they would have gotten out of the ticket. And it's possible they might have gotten out of the ticket. After all, it's a real thing that who we're related to can mean a lot in this world. But in the gospel today, Jesus is reminding us that for what really matters, it's not who we related to, it's not who we know, but rather what is really important to us. And it's not the physical ties that connect us to other people that are most important. While the Blessed Mother and Saint Joseph are among the greatest saints that we have, it's not because of the family relationship they have with Jesus. It's because of how close they came to imitating Jesus in terms of an openness to God's will. We see that so perfectly in Mary. The reason she is the greatest of the saints is because she was always willing to say yes to God. Because she was always listening and examining what the Lord was doing in her life and in her heart, and sought how to be an instrument of God's love in all that she did. It's a wonderful thing for us to remember. After all, none of us chose which families we were born into. And none of us will have a chance to be the mother of God or the stepfather of God. But all of us can always choose how we're going to live our lives. We can all choose what we're going to make the center, what we're going to see as important. And so it's so important to be like the Blessed Mother, like our Lord, and regularly take time to reflect on the will of God in our lives, to see where we are open to the Father and where we are still trying to follow our own will no matter what. That will show us what we should be working on, where we need to let grace grow in our hearts. And it will show us how to become truly great. Because we won't become the greatest version of ourselves by who we're related to. Although having good parents and good teachers is so important. But we will become truly great by learning from our parents and our teachers and becoming real brothers and sisters of Jesus by living out the will of the Father with great generosity, with great courage, and most importantly, with great love.